out there. It's basically been us and one or two others continually. And let's just say we've been showing a little bit more than CNN and MSNBC. Would you say so, Jen?
Hell yeah.
They seem to only show the sanitized version of what's going on. And it seems like when they're live from these protests, they tend to do play-by-play that's often sympathetic for the police. So definitely, if you have a couple bucks, please sign up, because these trips are so important, covering these stories on the ground. Even when the rest of the cameras leave, we're keeping John there for a day or two more, even though most of the cameras have left after the Chauvin verdict, because we think it's important to cover the Daunte Wright funeral.
But the great thing about membership is, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, membership helps us stay in the field. John is, of course, continuing to report. He's been there, as Jordan said, for 2 weeks. Today he was at the viewing for Daunte Wright, which he did some respectful recording. Tomorrow the funeral, again respectful, and we'll see where he goes next, or what happens next. Maybe North Carolina, maybe Ohio, but about membership, it's all about community. It's not just us talking to you. As you can see, we respond to you, and this issue is particularly divisive, but this is about community. And so we have, for members, we have a Discord chat. So if you're having fun in this chat, I know we have some trolls here, but that's why we have a Discord chat just for members, so you can talk politics and current issues, current events. We have book club stuff going on, and all kinds of things. So you get that. You ask me anything. Zoom calls with Jordan and myself, just for members. A bunch of other perks as well, including behind the scenes stuff. All kinds of stuff happening. Just $5 a month. statusquo.com/join, which you can see right there in our names. So definitely join. We are trying to get to 1,900 members. We are about 68 members away from that number. So we urge you to join. It helps us out. It helps us continue doing this great reporting, and you'll see some clips from that excellent reporting that John is doing. And you'll get these incredible perks at the same time. You'll feel good because you are the reason we're able to do this in-field reporting, unlike CNN and their pretend reporting. They pretend to sort of be on the front lines, but really they're on the back lines of reporting.
Jen, do you see how awesome I am with tech that I was able to put the memory?
Look at you, yeah.
And
figuring it all out. The picture in picture.
No.
So Jeremy, I think this was your super chat. No one wants to acknowledge that this cop could have accidentally hit the girl in pink, who was also in the line of fire. A tad flagrantly cavalier. I completely agree. He absolutely could have accidentally hit the girl in pink. He took 4 shots, so that increases the chance that he could have hit that girl. That's a great point.
Right. All right. I want to show this clip because I think it was one of the more powerful moments after the verdict. This is John interviewing somebody, I believe, in a white fur jacket.
He is, incredible.
So if you're anti-fur, this might not be for you. But
it's fake.
Oh, it's fake. Okay. Because my wife was like, I don't like that fur. I was like, I don't know if it's real.
No, it's fur. Yeah, it's fur.
But this is somebody. I mean, when you hear his story, it's really, really something. Take a look.
My name is David Mbe. You know what I'm saying? I'm from South Minneapolis. Cedar Riverside community. South Minneapolis. Hey, how y'all doing? My name is David Mbe. You know what I'm saying? I'm from South Minneapolis. Cedar Riverside community. South Minneapolis. I grew up out here in Minneapolis, been knowing the whole community, man. I'll be everywhere. I'll be north side, south side. I show a lot of much love, a lot of much respect. Growing up, coming from the struggle, seeing what's going on out here in our communities. And it's hard, man. It's even hard for me to talk about, I'm a living victim to the system and what I've been through from police brutality and officers not being held accountable for what they've been through and what they've been doing, So that's what it's pretty much been for me. I've been shot by the police 4 times in the back, 1 time in the head. It was on 38th in Chicago. And right there where the passing of George Floyd happened at. First thing I want to say is much respect, much love to the Floyd family, Brown and Castile family, Rodney Reynolds, Gregory Crockett, my brother I just met, a good brother. Be my brother Abe, my brother Manny. You know what I'm saying? Tell y'all, man, my story is deep, man. And it's just being in the 3rd precinct, being in South Minneapolis, dealing with the 3rd precinct. All my life, man, we was always running from the police. For me, to be the person during the protest coming home and being incarcerated for so long and seeing police officers running back from the 3rd precinct, man, running out that motherfucker, it made me happy, man. We have to tear that motherfucker down. We did it for a great cause. We did it for Floyd, man. And officer involved in my case, it was multiple officers. I had supplements, man. In my case, I had my whole motion, man. I had everything you could look at, man. You know what I'm saying? And multiple officers had something to say. And one of the officers that had something to do with what was going on was definitely this officer that got convicted right here today on all 3 counts. We happy, man. We happy we got that justice, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be the beginning. Minnesota, man, we done led the way. We're 2020. But honestly, to be real, I see that this is a beginning step. For sure. It's a beginning step to shed light across the world, because the whole world's watching, man. It ain't just Minnesota. The whole world's watching. And what these people didn't want was they didn't want us to turn up. They didn't want us to get out here and start acting up and acting crazy. That's why they got the military, all that around here. But I pray, man. I pray. I cried a lot, man. I pray that for sure that there won't be no more killing of no black people, nobody, no races, you know. And once we get that justice, man, like how we got today, it's gonna shed light, man, on the whole world. You tuning in, man. You see the hat, man. TC, we really honing it down out the town, man, Minnesota. We showed out, man. We had it for the last 2 years, man. We did that. George Floyd, I love you, bro. I make it there. I'll see you up there in heaven, bro. Hey, good job.
So I thought that was really powerful. I mean, I think
incredible.
He said he got shot 4 times, including
4 times in the back and the head, once in the head.
He also said that Derek Chauvin, I don't know the specifics, but that Chauvin was involved somewhat in what happened with him. I don't know if it was shooting him or after the fact.
He didn't specify. He was involved in what happened, is what he said.
Right. But I also think, you know, to me, for those of you that don't know, Attorney General Merrick Garland came out today, and there's now going to be a federal investigation of the Minneapolis Police Department. Again, similar to Joe Biden naming, renaming J. Edgar Allan Hoover building, the Fred Hampton building. That's great. But you don't need to just investigate one police department. Mr. Attorney General, go to the New York Police Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Chicago Police Department. Why stop at the police department? Start investigating these police unions that are buying off the politicians. Because when he mentioned how Minnesota was leading the charge on this, the fight against police brutality, obviously I respect that view for sure. But I think, at the end of the day, this police terrorism, because that's what it is, police terrorism. An investigation of one police department, this is all performative. We need to completely change the entire system. I don't even think reform is possible, to tell you the truth. I think this entire policing in America needs to be changed. I think psychologists need to be they're talking about contact tracers right now for COVID. I think you need an army of contact tracers for racism, PTSD, and people that should not have a badge and a gun. And that is really a psychiatrist, social workers that should be swarming police departments all over this country, evaluating police officers head to toe mentally, whether it be for racism, PTSD, irrational fear, you name it. Because honestly, just investigating certain police departments ain't going to do it. Your thoughts, Jen?
Yeah, I think that it would go a long way if we were to, or if police departments were to clamp down on racism and really vet that and not allow it. So, yeah, I just it's not just allowed, but it is encouraged in many areas. And we know that white nationalist organizations and groups are prevalent among police forces. We know that some people that are in law enforcement were part of the insurrection. And when we know, yeah, we have like Tina Desiree Berg, who does some freelance work for us. She deep dives into this stuff a lot. And yeah, white nationalism is a real issue in our police force. And beyond deep diving, any person with a brain and eyeballs and access to the news, which is all of us watching this right now, knows that it's an issue because Black people are being murdered constantly at the hands of police and being mistreated at the hands of police. And, you know, the crime bill, et cetera, et cetera. We could go on and on and on. And one of the clips that we'll show you actually today is goes all the way back to Jim Crow and a person whose family kind of was the architect of that. And he's kind of trying to correct the wrongs of his family. And that's how deep this stuff goes. So
Jen,
I think there's a chance.
Don't want to interrupt, but welcome new status quo member, Shiny and Jason. Holy
Shiny, that's cool.
Shiny and Jason. Holy cow. We're now at 1,834. 1,834. Obviously, we need to we don't have the tech to update in real time just yet.
We do too.
We do. Jen, when that's ready, let me know. So we're at 1,834. Let's keep on getting those members. We're keeping John out there to cover the funeral tomorrow. We might send him elsewhere right after this. He's a machine.
It's ready.
Oh, he's a machine. So he puts his hand up. Oh, I want to go there. I want to go there next. Blah 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 blah. So as long as you fund us, we'll keep covering these things. By the way, on me, I am going on my honeymoon soon. But after my honeymoon, when I am well rested, I will be back out there as well. Here we go. 1,834. Look at that great new page Jen created. So you could see how many members we got. You could see how many left to go till the next milestone. 66 left till we hit 1,900. By the way, membership is not a vanity thing. The more members we get, the more help we could hire, because we do need help to help us grow, but also to take some of the load off myself and Jen. So that's
that reminds me. Someone says how many people work for us. So if you are a person who is amazing and available during the day for breaking news, if you are awesome and just a great, cool person and who is with the status quo vibe, who can do social media, who can clip things, who can do the things that status quo does. If you watch our channels and our social media, and you kind of get us, email at info@statusquo.com if you could be available at the drop of a hat and kind of on a daily basis if you'd like to kind of help out for on a freelance basis. info@statusquo.com.
Yeah. And there it is on the screen. I don't know if I showed it before. 1,834 we're at now. So yeah, keep signing up, statusquo.com/join. It's like Christmas, early Christmas, every new member we see. And I'm Jewish, so that tells you something. I want to play another clip from after the Chauvin verdict. Let's take a look at this one. If I could get.
Say thank you to Sheila! Say thank you you, Tashira! Thank you, Tashira!
Oh yeah, we feel like celebrating. We feel like celebrating because I live in Minneapolis. I'm not an activist. I'm just a person, a black man in America, and we finally got something. You know what I'm saying? Something back. Yes, sir. We finally got something back. You know what I mean? So we celebrating all three convictions. Like I said, I'm not an activist. I'm not an activist. I mean, you got activists coming from all over, but I live down the street.
Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? How's this going to change the way policing treat black people in this country?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know about that. But this is beginning. Right. And this is a beginning to celebrate. Absolutely. We got something out of this. Remy time. It's Remy time because of the three convictions.
Okay, so I missed my bag. It's a small backpack and it's black
Jordan.
with red
Jordan.
Yeah.
You have to move right ahead to the next interview.
Like, you know, I'm selling them. It's just amazing. I don't know, you know, it's just amazing because I'm born and raised here. So, like I was telling them, like, this ain't nothing new for us. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had 3 cousins that was murdered by the police in Minneapolis in the late 80s and the 90s. So, you know, my cousin Tyrcell was 17, got shot in the back. They planted a gun on him and everything, and they never even brought charges against the officers. My aunt did receive a civil lawsuit for not hardly enough money back then. So, you know, no matter what, there's a lot of people that have experienced this, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't been in trouble in over 25 years, and I recognize the trauma that I have today, like when a cop is riding just behind me, you know what I'm saying? Yep. With the fear and the anxiety. So I'm hopeful that the following generation may be able to live in peace with law enforcement. You know, I know all cops ain't bad, but you know, there's a lot of them that abuse their authority. You know, so hopefully, our civil rights will be respected now. You know, holding police accountable for their actions. That's all we ever wanted. Absolutely. Just for police to be accountable and not operate with total immunity. Right. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of cops, they'll tell you, we don't care if you sue us because they know it ain't their money. Yep. Like, I've had a lot of cops say that to me. Like, they know it's the city's money. It's our taxpayers' money. Yep. So they don't really care about getting sued. But one of the things that they're trying to change is that you can sue the cop personally. And that will probably help a lot, too. Absolutely. So we're hopeful. You know? Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Glad y'all here.
The thing that really strikes me, Jen, the more people John interviews, you see a pattern that, I mean, I don't know the percentage, but over half have been shot at by the police or been framed by the police or been targeted by the police. Black people in particular that he's interviewing out there. That's the second clip of like 4 clips that we have where they've either been shot at by police or been targeted by police. And he was even saying 25 years later, after his encounters with police, he's still got trauma when police are around him. So it goes to not just the life or death of people are losing their lives, but people are being generationally traumatized in the Black community by police.
Yeah, well, and you have the generational trauma from what is happening, you know, in modern times in the generations that are alive today. But then you also have the 400 years of generational trauma, like here in America, and it's just I don't know what what the answer is. And it's not like John doesn't have to search around for these interviews to find people who have been impacted. It's just every other person he turns to has been impacted in these horrible, horrible ways, personally. So it's just really, really devastating. John's doing a great job, and it's you can feel, and that's something from yesterday when the verdict was announced. And you guys can watch this on our social media, Twitter, at Status Quo on Twitter. But when the verdict was announced, it wasn't just like people were cheering, like, "Oh, this is great! Yay, we're so excited." You could see the release, the relief, the joy, a mixture of emotions. People were hugging, people were crying. I don't know. You could just, it was like palpable through the screen. I don't know how to describe it. I can't imagine what it was like to be there. And more than that, obviously I'm a white girl. I can't imagine what it's like to feel that relief and that release and that joy. But on top of that, it's not those things only. It's also the, okay, but it's still not true justice. It's a step, and it's like, it's good that this happened. The charges should have been more. And okay, they gave us this one, but what about Dante? And what about Brianna? And what about all the others? And okay, this girl just got shot in Ohio, and now this man in North Carolina, and this keeps happening. And so it's a mixture of everything. And I don't know how to describe it.
Which is a wonderful.
It's not my right to describe it.
Which is a wonderful segue. Welcome, new Status Quo member Karis and Lashunda.
That is actually a very horrible segue.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'd like to, give a shout out to our new members. So welcome, Karis and Lashunda, now at 1,836 members. So keep it coming. We got some more amazing clips to play. And this is what members are supporting. This in the field. It's a lot of outlets claiming to be, independent and progressive and all these things that basically just like, it's just this like recycled hamster wheel of bullshit hot take videos all day. And a lot of the videos I'm seeing in our little sandbox now, the progressive media, are just about like Twitter fights with people. And it's just, you know what I'm saying, Jen? Like, we're actually out there in the field covering these important stories. But a lot of the stuff I see on other channels is just like hot takes and bullshit fighting about whatever. And it's just like, people, support whoever you want to support. But I say support the independent progressive outlets that are out there showing you what's actually going on in the United Corporations of America.
Why do we have such asshats in this chat? Guys, if you are so stupid that you think the murder of Breonna Taylor was justified and the murder of George Floyd was justified, go to hell immediately and get out of our chat. You are stupid beyond measure.
So we've got the Blue Lives people that have found us. So hello.
How many members do I need to add? Two.
So yeah, but you can go to hell. Honestly, if these people are saying Chauvin was justified and the cops who killed Breonna Taylor were justified, I mean, there's really no point of even kind of paying attention to what they're saying, because they're obviously coming from a really messed up mental place. So yeah. Even like the most right-wing people I know have said Chauvin wasn't justified. And yeah, same thing. Breonna Taylor, literally black woman in her own home, gunned down. Oh, no, totally justified. These same people who, if it's a white person, don't tread on me. You come near my home, I'm going to shoot you with a bazooka gun. And I'll have every right to do it. Breonna Taylor doesn't have the right to sleep, doesn't have a right to occupy her own apartment. Yeah, let's not even pay attention to them. It's giving them too much oxygen. But yes, thank you to the new members, Karis and Lashunda. So we're now
Yay. Welcome, guys.
1,836. So that
The page is updated, the dynamic page, which I'm very proud of.
that would be 64 members to go till we hit 1,900. Jen, I don't know. Can we do it? Can we
I
do it?
think we can do it.
It would be amazing if we could do it this week. So keep signing up, statusquo.com/join. Jen, I'd like you to tee this up because I haven't seen this clip. This is
Sure. Well, first I want to put this on the screen. CJ says, yo, you guys are dope. This is the first time I'm watching this channel, and it is very refreshing. Well, welcome, CJ. Hope you subscribe and keep watching us.
thank you, CJ. I'm happy to be dope. Maybe I'll go have some dope.
Jordan's like 85. Don't.
Maybe I'll go so have some dope after this. So, Jen, could you tee this up? I mean, it's a long.
Yeah.
It's about 20 minutes, but I think people are going to really be riveted from the way you described it. Charles Sims, explain what we're about to play.
Okay, so this is Charles Sims. He's formerly of the Army. He fought in Iraq. He is from Missouri, and his I think his I don't remember how many his ancestor is basically responsible for Jim Crow directly. So he obviously grew up very conservative and has now he feels so responsible kind of through his ancestry for what has happened in this country that he is doing what he can within who he is as a white person who comes from this background to make himself available. So I don't want to speak for him, but it seems like he doesn't want to put himself out front, but he wants to make himself available to try to correct or help in ways that he can and try to listen. So it seems like a very interesting person who's willing to have dialogue and help.
Just programming alert. We don't know for sure. It just depends what's going on. But John is going to be going to Brooklyn Center tonight, where the Dante Wright protests have been going on for about a week. So if there's if there's enough people there, he'll be going live from there. So cancel your Netflix plans. You might be busy with Status Quo tonight. And if you don't know, if you're new here, YouTube's not going to notify you when we're live, or they very rarely do notify you when we're live. So to make sure you don't miss a live stream from us, particularly John possibly going live after us, make sure you are signed up to our text list. Jen, they got to sign up to our text list. It's a matter of life or death. Correct?
Yep, text COUP to 370-370 so you know when John goes live. Text COUP to 370-370. Get your phone out right now so you don't forget. Yep, text COUP to 370-370. It's free to you.
By the way,
it's fun.
If you guys want to know the behind the scenes.
Oh my God, Jordan's going to talk about how expensive this stuff. That's okay. It's okay. It's worth it.
What's okay?
What? Oh, I think we're going to say I
was just going to say my dad's texted me again complaining that I cuss on the
Oh, I was going to tell you. He texted me too.
So my dad, who I love him, but he voted for Trump.
I love Larry.
A right winger, big Zionist too. He's very proud of me, even though we don't agree politically on anything. Very proud of me, loves bragging about me to his friends, very proud of the Flint reporting I've done, Standing Rock, all those things. But he's very old-fashioned and can't stand that I cuss and this sewer language and this gutter language.
Gutter.
You wanna speak like the gutter, you'll live in the gutter. And I told him, Dad, it's not 1970 anymore, and people like expression on the internet, but he doesn't get it. So he likes to text me and occasionally
doesn't like it.
And occasionally call me while I'm live to tell me this. So just throwing it out there.
Anyway, during this video, Jordan, just so you know, so there's the part where he explains what's going on and then who he is and stuff. And then I would scroll. It's 19 minutes, this thing. I cut it, but I didn't have time to cut it like too much. So then scroll forward where he starts talking to a young Black gentleman. Like they start having dialogue. And then once that is over, like towards the end, he starts speaking to another young Black gentleman. They have a really cool conversation.
Okay. Let's take a look at this clip. Keep signing up. Statuscoup.com/join. Statuscoup.com/join.
My name is Charles G. Sims. My 3 times great grandfather and Chief Justice of the Mississippi Supreme Court. He was a Confederate general and the primary author is James G.
Jordan, he didn't have the camera on him at first, so just let it play.
Okay.
My 3 times great grandfather. My name is Charles G. Sims. My 3 times great grandfather is James Zachariah George of Mississippi, 3-term United States Senator and Chief Justice of the Mississippi Supreme Court. He was a Confederate general and the primary architect of the Jim Crow laws. This is the truth. Obviously, I've felt it important for my family's history to come show support for the Floyd family.
And what would you like to have happen with him?
I've specifically reached out to Ben Crump and Jeff Storm to extend my hand to Felonious specifically. I felt he is a humble man, soft-spoken, and that he has peace and love in his heart. So I felt it important for me to come reach my hand out to him and show love and support for his family, to try to set example and reach across party and racial lines in search of conflict resolution. I feel like we suffer a lack of leadership on many levels, and I felt it was important for me to come here to set example, to lay a foundation for other people to follow. I'm the founder of the Dream 2020 group, an Iraq War veteran. After George was killed in May, I kind of felt that God planted a seed in my heart in June to start something important. And me and my co-founder, NFL veteran Jarrell Poe, who was a friend of mine from Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, where we attended, that we would try to do something unique. So I reached out to the Martin Luther King family, and Alvita wrote me a message specifically to go speak at the Lorraine Motel in June. We were delayed by about 2 months. So we went there and spoke in August on the anniversary weekend of Martin Luther King's Dream speech. Alvita wrote me a message of support in doing that. So I've reached out to the King family. In November, I reached out to the pastor of the Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, South Carolina, to continue to reach out to people of different parties and different races, and like I said, in search of conflict resolution. That's why I'm here again, to reach out to the Floyd family. I have nothing but love in my heart. It's all about the love. I have no other motivations. I have no, I don't want to gain anything monetarily. I care nothing about that. I just want to try to help our country, help our people, try to black and white alike, to try to join hands, join hearts, and improve the situation that is going on currently. I support anybody that has love in their hearts, period. Obviously, I'm a soldier, so
Why is this situation very important?
I've seen war. Obviously, I was in Iraq when there was a lot of sectarian violence, so I saw a civil war there. 3 members of my family signed the Ordinance of Secession for the Confederacy. So I know the consequences of inaction. I know the consequences of action, and sometimes certain people have to step up to make a difference. Obviously my family's history was on the opposing side of the civil rights movement, but that's never defined who I am. Love is stronger than hate. But like I said, I know the consequences of war. I know the consequences of civil war, and I know that anytime you have a chance to stop future bloodshed, it's our right as citizens to carry those burdens. And I'm nobody special. I'm just a common person, a common soldier, and I felt it was important for me to reach out. Yeah, what's up, man?
What made you switch from your family? What provided the change?
I think it was my life. Unless you've walked the path that I've walked, I don't think you could have realized that. I think you would have had to live a hard life. You would have had to go to war. I mean, one of my best friends when I was in Baghdad was my buddy Johnny. He was from Sierra Leone, West Africa. He wasn't even a citizen yet. You know what I'm saying? Me and him were fighting side by side, bleeding every day together. And he wasn't even a citizen in this country, and he loved it. And he's still in the Army, still fighting for this country daily. I mean, I think he's probably been in 17, 18 years. But yeah, I think you would have had to live my life to specifically understand that. I knew who I was growing up. When I used to go eat Thanksgiving dinner at Coatsworth, there was a gigantic picture of Robert E. Lee as soon as I walked in. There's no denying who I am. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? 3 members of my family signed the Ordinance of Secession. I know who I am. But I think I had to live that life to come to that understanding. It took a lot of pain. It took a lot of pain. It took a lot of pain to get to that, and it took a lot of service to the country and to realize that. And I think, like I said, I've experienced a lot of war and everything else, but that's what led me to that, and to be able to understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? When you experience war, when you experience civil war, you understand that. What's up?
Understand life better when you take it.
Yeah. You taste hard times, man. The good times are so much better, and anytime you can help to save life, obviously it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
So you said that you were rejected. You went somewhere and you were rejected, right? You felt rejected. Did you feel rejected?
I mean, I've reached out to a lot of people, and sometimes I think it's a hard thing to be able to hold my hand. You know what I'm saying? I think it can be controversial in some instances with the Black community, and it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I can reach out to anybody. It just depends if there's that willing recipient. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's a hard thing to find. And this isn't
You know why I'm saying that?
Yeah.
You do what you do because these people should know one thing.
For sure.
Because he's doing that, he should be able to do it. You know why you should be able to do it? You should keep doing it. Because the same people that are here, you should speak out. You know why I'm saying you should speak out? I just finished 32 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. You know whose name that was done in? The same way it was done by your people, and you feel that you were attached to that, right? I feel the same way about the public, right?
Okay.
I feel the same way that the public is giving him a free trial when we didn't have a free trial. Go look at innocent men across this country. No money was put down on us. No money was put down for me to have an investigator, everything that he's getting. No public saw what was happening to us, right? All over this country, no public saw what happened to us. And at the same time, just keep this in mind when you're doing what you're doing. The prosecution they putting on you, because if you're not speaking, we're not going to know how you think and how your family thought.
I hear you,
but
man.
the prosecution they putting on you, when I was in prison in your name, my grandmother's name, and everybody out here's name, right? It's Commonwealth. When they get up, they say Commonwealth versus. When they got up, they said Commonwealth versus Darrell Jones. Do you all support all the innocent men and women that was in prison? So the only way to take that power back is when the Commonwealth gets up and says, in our name, is for us to say, not in our name. We got so many movements, but we're not saying not in our name. That's the power taker, because they have to get up and say it in our name. Don't let nobody stop you from speaking, so I'm not going to let nobody stop me from speaking.
I appreciate the love, bro.
Do you believe that system works exactly? Because there's been plenty of people in the office. Biden, for instance, they say these things, but at the end of the day, we still see the same problems under new rules.
And like I said, bro, we face a lack of leadership on many levels. That's part of the reason I'm here.
on the note of, I think my brother behind me said something along the lines of you're speaking to, people that might relate to you more conservative, maybe even racist type of people and whatnot. Is there anything that you would like to say to them on misconceptions of like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and whatnot? I've been in a lot of different places, hearing a lot of different people say a lot of different things, and a lot of things, White Lives Matter, for instance, or F Antifa, different things like that. Making it sound like anti-fascism is bad, the people that don't agree with police abolition. Is there anything you want to say to those types of folks that may resonate with your words more than someone like me?
It's a good question, man. I think we're reaching a critical mass in this country's history where it can kind of go one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham Lincoln said, we are not enemies but friends. But that wasn't the first line he was going to use. It was, shall it be peace or the sword? So we can either be one way. We can be peaceful to each other, or we can be fighting each other. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we've been peaceful for a long time, and I think a lot of us are, at this point, not sure what to do because we don't feel heard. Those people, those right-wing, those conservative people, very pro-police, anti-BLM. They don't hear that piece.
Yeah, it's very divided. It's very divided right now. It's very divided.
It seems like a lot of questions are coming to them from a broad statement because everybody out here, like they said, it's a lot of peaceful shit going on. To their questions, they all out here with cameras and questions, and they get met with military officers with fucking assault rifles and shit like that. So, I mean, I understand, but I don't think he can answer y'all questions. Y'all looking for something more from him. I got the best question, bro. I got the best question. I want everybody to talk about this.
Them, not us.
I'm a victim. I got shot by the police 4 times, 5 times. You know what I'm saying? In South Minneapolis on 38th to Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
I was just down there.
By the 3rd precinct and back in 2012. I was running. I was in fear for my life. I got shot in the head, in the back. I got shot in my buttocks. I got shot in the leg. You know what I'm saying? I was laid out right there where George Floyd died at, where he got assassinated at. It's hard for me to even come out here and speak about this story. I got the bullet wounds to show you. Look at my back, man. This is serious, man. See that? I got shot in the back by the police, brother. So after that, I was incarcerated. I did a lot of my time in prison, and I got out of prison for assault on police officer, which I had no justice. No justice for this, man. So for me to come out here today, it's hard for me to come out here. You see what I'm saying? But we see that there's a racist, systematic system that's put in place in the state of Minnesota and all around the nation that's not equal to or in favor for the people. So I want to say, as being, I know you probably was part of the Army, the United States Army, but I don't know what it is about you. I don't know what you had going on in your history. But for me to come home to this and to see all this stuff going on, I want to know, like, I'm a victim to that. Dude that's on trial right now, is he one of the people that was there at the case? There's a lot of things that they hide away from a lot of people in every situation. I'm being real with you. I'm being honest with you. You see what I'm saying? So, they cover up a lot of things, but I'm a survivor. You feel me?
Yep.
So I come out here and I stand on this Black empowerment. I stand upon for the people. I'm not afraid of nothing or nobody. I'm here. I'm here and I'm live and I'm today. See what I'm saying? So when I come out here with respect, bro. I come out here with respect, bro. You know what I'm saying? We suffering.
Who shot you?
Man, I'm not gonna say it's police officers.
Who shot
you? It was multiple police officers that were shooting at me. Unarmed, hands in the air, universal surrender, hands in the air, bro. See what I'm saying? They took turns. Right there on the same block, right there on 38th to Chicago. I was laid right out there. They had me handcuffed. They put me on the stretcher. See what I'm saying? I got sent to the hospital. I died that day. I was laying in a pool of blood. You feel me? So it is what it is. But at the same time, we come out here. We want change, man. We tired of this. They killing our children. They killing us. They killing us, bro. We tired. We out here crying. Our mamas is crying. We tired of this, bro. We for real. I'm being honest with you. You can record me all you want. I don't care about none of that. I'm coming out here because I'm tired, man. I'm tired of this. I cry every day. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of seeing my people die. I feel in fear of what's going on out here in our communities in Minneapolis and all around the nation of us dying. See what I'm saying? And police officers are not being held accountable. Let's be honest. That's just what's going on. They're not being held accountable. You got the military out here. You got feds out here. You got all these people out here. What we gonna do that's gonna be changed for us? When is equality? We already minorities, man. When is equality gonna be changed? What's your thought? What's your thought? What's the thought on that, man?
As far as when's change going to come, or what?
When is change gonna come?
When's the justice going to come?
When is justice gonna come? Is it gonna happen? It's gonna happen in this court case, or is it not? Are we gonna turn up? What's gonna happen? When is change gonna come?
To be honest, you don't have to restrict yourself from saying you don't know or you don't know.
I don't have all the answers, bro. I can tell you.
Wow. What'd you think about that, Jen? You're muted.
Sorry, I muted myself because my son came in earlier asking me to call his phone. I think it's interesting on the level of here's this guy this army guy who's been in Iraq. He grew up in Mississippi, and he has these family roots that are the worst of the worst. You know, the architect of Jim Crow, and fighting in the Civil War on the wrong side, etc. And so here he is trying to do good, trying to kind of right some of those wrongs. Not that they can be. Obviously, he didn't do those things, but they're in his family's history. Now, if in the longer version of this fuller clip, it's clear that he doesn't have all of the answers. And in some parts of it, he's even uncomfortable giving some thoughts. And the activists who are, and I like that in this press conference, it wasn't just the press or even mostly the press asking the questions. It was mostly people, real people, and real Black people and people of color asking the questions, which I think is great. And they press him in a respectful way in saying, what do you think about? And this wasn't shown in these clips, but you'll see it later when we post it. What do you think about defunding the police? What do you think about the brutal tactics that police were using on protesters a few nights ago? What do you think about this? And you can see that he hasn't fully thought through or maybe released some of his previous thinking on some of these issues, but that he's willing to think about them more deeply. So he's kind of caught between, I want to make these changes. I'm here to use my family's name and my family's history to try to bring conservatives along with me, to try to bring the worst of the worst racist people along with me, to try to do what I can with my white skin and my racist family history to do what I can to make a difference. But at the same time, he has a lot of growing to do, and he admits that, and you can see that in his answers and through this longer dialogue. And that's what it is. It's dialogue. And these young Black kids aren't condescending or angry or whatever, but they go back and forth and challenge him in a very good way. And I think we need more of that. So I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. I find this just so fascinating. I find this man, Charles Sims, so fascinating. And I think it's good. I think it's kind of a breakthrough, because it can't just be Black people trying to eradicate racism and police brutality. It can't just be progressives trying to do this. It can't just be, you know, a subset of America trying to do this. It also has to be conservatives as well, and all people with hearts and brains and souls. So I think this is really an interesting interview or presser.
I agree. And it's pretty clear at certain points he was just at a loss for words, not because he's a bad dude, but because of he was raised.
Huh?
It's almost 6.
Yeah. They'll be done at 6:10. It's gonna be a tight turnaround for us.
Always is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We need to get the standards in order. I guess every day if we just sit and
Did you shoot a lot? Is it gonna be like the last interview? The first interview?
that'll be easy to find because it'll be at the top if you sort by media stuff. For you, yes, it might be difficult. That's another cheat sheet. This is up here.
Probably.
Why does it just look like a puppy? I guess I know a comp sheet. Woo! Fun. Especially if they want an appropriate backdrop. We won't have any time to drive.
We'll stay at
The evening?
yeah.
But that also is provided, they're ready to go at 6:10. So it's actually even tighter than you're kind of thinking. But they should have all the footage, theoretically.
I wish we could have driven
So I would have known this was going to happen. This would be a lot different. But this was like, oh, protest at the Ohio Union site. You're marching from the Union to the state. Well, now, basically, in the notice. I have enough notice to throw on a plate. State House?
Yeah. Well, maybe who's parked up down there?
Is that one of us?
No, it's white. No.
It's white, then it's us.
Got the tail stick stuff on the side.
They're probably inside. You can get in, but I guess I have to wait since, you know, I'm just sitting here kind of waiting for the next person to talk into my ear. They're expecting at 6 o'clock. It's been nice to get some hit time. But